Have you ever looked at a photograph and felt like it was telling you a story? Not just the story of what's happening in the frame, but something much, much bigger. Some images are so powerful they don't just capture a moment, they define an era. They become part of our collective memory, instantly recognizable symbols of triumph, tragedy, or transformation. But what's the real story behind these iconic pictures? What happened in the moments before the shutter clicked, and what unfolded in the aftermath? Today, we're going on a journey behind the lens to uncover the profound narratives etched within history's most resonant photographs. We'll peel back the layers to reveal the unseen forces, the human drama, and the sheer luck that conspired to create these visual masterpieces. This isn't just about photography, it's about history, humanity, and the incredible power of a single frozen moment in time. Let's start with an image that everyone knows. Lunch atop a skyscraper. 11 men casually eating lunch on a steel beam, dangling hundreds of feet above Manhattan. It's a breathtaking symbol of American industry and the fearless spirit of the men who built New York. But who were these men? For decades, their identities were a mystery. The photo was taken in 1932 during the Great Depression on the 69th floor of the RCA building, now 30 Rockefeller Plaza. It was actually a publicity stunt staged to promote the new skyscraper. Far from being a candid shot, it was carefully orchestrated. Yet the danger was very real. These were actual construction workers, many of them immigrants from Ireland and other parts of Europe, risking their lives daily for a paycheck. In recent years, filmmakers and historians have managed to identify a few of them, piecing together their stories from family archives. The photo is no longer just an anonymous symbol of bravery. It's a tribute to real individuals like Joseph Eckner and Mattie O'Shaughnessy, who left their homes in search of a better life and ended up immortalized in one of the most famous images of the 20th century. It reminds us that behind every grand symbol, there are human beings with their own hopes and fears. Now, let's fast forward to a moment that brought the world to a standstill. The Tank Man of Tiananmen Square. In June 1989, a lone, unidentified man stood his ground, blocking a column of tanks leaving the square after a brutal military crackdown on pro-democracy protests. The photographer, Jeff Widener, was on the 6th floor of the Beijing hotel, running low on film. He was injured and had to be smuggled into the hotel by an American student. From his balcony, he saw the man with his shopping bags step in front of the tanks. He framed the shot, but worried it was too far away to be effective. He asked the student to find him more film, and the student returned with a single roll. It was with that roll that Widener captured the definitive image of defiance. The man's identity and his fate remain unknown to this day, which only adds to the power of the photograph. He is an everyman, a nameless symbol of courage against overwhelming force. The image was smuggled out of China in a box of film and transmitted to the world, becoming an instant icon of the struggle for freedom. It's a stark reminder that one person's act of bravery, captured at the right moment, can echo across the globe and inspire generations. From the streets of Beijing, let's travel into the depths of space. The pale blue dot. In 1990, at the request of astronomer Carl Sagan, the Voyager 1 spacecraft turned its camera around one last time to take a picture of Earth from nearly 4 billion miles away. In the resulting image, our entire planet is just a tiny speck, a single pixel suspended in a sunbeam. Sagan's poetic words about the photo are as famous as the image itself. He called it a mote of dust, a pale blue dot where every human being who has ever lived has lived out their lives. The photograph wasn't taken for scientific purposes. Its value was purely philosophical. It was a message of perspective. In the vastness of the cosmos, our conflicts, our triumphs, our entire history all unfold on this tiny stage. The technological feat of capturing this image is mind-boggling. Voyager 1 was traveling at over 38,000 miles per hour, and the commands to turn the camera and take the photos took hours to travel from Earth to the spacecraft. The pale blue dot is more than just a picture of our home. It's a profound lesson in humility and a call to cherish the only world we've ever known. Let's come back down to Earth for a story of human connection and hardship. Dorothea Lange's migrant mother. This 1936 photograph of Florence Owens Thompson and her children became the face of the Great Depression. Lange was a photographer for the Farm Security Administration, tasked with documenting the plight of rural America. She stumbled upon a camp of destitute pea pickers in Nipimo, California. The crops had failed due to freezing rain, leaving the families starving. Lange was drawn to one tent, where she found Thompson, a 32-year-old mother of 7. Lange took just 6 photos in about 10 minutes. She later said she didn't even ask the woman's name. She simply sensed her desperation and her dignity. When the photo was published, it caused an immediate public outcry. The government rushed 20,000 pounds of food to the camp. However, Thompson and her family had already moved on. For years, her identity was unknown. She was simply the migrant mother. It wasn't until the late 1970s that a reporter tracked her down. Florence resented the photograph for most of her life, feeling it stereotyped her as a helpless victim without telling the story of her resilience. She was a survivor who worked tirelessly to raise her children. The photo, while it helped thousands, never directly benefited her. This complicates our understanding of the image. It's a powerful tool for social change, but also a portrait of a real person whose own story was nearly lost. Now, for a moment of pure, unadulterated joy, VJ Day in Times Square by Alfred Eisenstadt, a sailor grabbing a nurse and planting a kiss on her lips as news of Japan's surrender and the end of World War II spread through New York City. It's the embodiment of euphoria and relief. But like lunch atop a skyscraper, this was not a planned romantic moment between a couple. It was a spontaneous act between two complete strangers. Eisenstadt was running through the celebrating crowds, capturing the chaos and excitement. He saw the sailor grabbing every woman he could find. He spotted a nurse in a white uniform and anticipated the visual contrast. He framed the shot and, in an instant, captured the iconic embrace. For decades, the identities of the sailor and the nurse were a hotly debated mystery, with many people coming forward to claim they were the ones in the photo. It was eventually determined that the nurse was Greta Zimmer Friedman and the sailor was George Mendancer. Friedman later recalled that it wasn't a consensual kiss. She was just grabbed. This modern perspective has led to a revaluation of the image. While it still represents a nation's joy, it also sparks conversations about consent and how we interpret historical moments through a contemporary lens. It shows that the meaning of a photograph can evolve over time, shaped by changing cultural values. From a public celebration to a private tragedy. The photo of John F. Kennedy Jr. saluting his father's casket. On November 25, 1963, the day of President John F. Kennedy's funeral, the world watched a nation in mourning. As the horse-drawn caisson passed by, Jackie Kennedy leaned down and whispered to her son, who was turning 3 years old that very day. Little John then raised his hand in a crisp, heartbreaking salute. The moment was captured by numerous photographers, but it was Stan Stern's shot for UPI that became the most enduring. It's a devastatingly poignant image. The innocence of a child's gesture contrasts with the immense gravity of the occasion. It symbolizes a loss of innocence for the entire country. Stearns almost missed the shot. He was at the end of his roll of film and didn't think anything else would happen, but he waited. When the salute happened, he clicked the shutter, capturing the single most powerful frame of the day. The photograph encapsulates the personal grief of a family and the collective sorrow of a nation, all in the simple action of a little boy saying goodbye to his father. It's a testament to how a small, intimate moment can represent a massive historical tragedy. Each of these photographs is a gateway to a deeper story. They are not just images. They are historical artifacts, cultural touchstones, and windows into the human soul. They teach us about the people in the frame, the person behind the camera, and the world that surrounded them both. They remind us that history is not just a series of dates and events, but a collection of individual stories of struggle, joy, courage, and loss. The next time you see a famous photograph, take a moment to look closer. Ask yourself, what's the story here? What happened before and after this split second? Because often, the most powerful part of the picture is the story that lies just outside the frame. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through history. I hope it's given you a new appreciation for the power of photography. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Let me know in the comments which iconic photograph you'd like me to explore next. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.